Right, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, it's Antony Carpen here on Harvey Road, and I'm outside number 6 because number 6 is where Florence Ada Keynes used to live, and this is the childhood home of the father of macroeconomics, John Maynard Keynes. But as they say, behind every great man is a great woman, and I'm particularly interested in the life and the achievements of Florence Ada Keynes, who was our first elected woman councillor to the organisation now known as Cambridge City Council. It was known as Cambridge Town Council or Cambridge Borough Council back in those days. She was elected unopposed in a by-election in August 1914 at the same time the First World War was breaking out. And interestingly, she had fun and games trying to get back from France, where she was with her husband, Neville Keynes, where I think they were off butterfly hunting, amongst other things. And I've just got today a wonderful book describing how they managed to get back. Now, I've come down a side road on just off Harvey Road, and what you can see behind me there, as well as the big Catholic church of Our Lady and the English Martyrs, you can also see the old buildings of the Purse School. And then behind that, the more modern offices of what is now Cambridge Assessment. Now, this is the site that I've identified, and I've been told on good authority is owned by the University of Cambridge, that I would like to see a huge new concert hall and multifunctioning conferencing centre built and named after Florence Ada Keynes. I'd like to see it called something like Florence Hall, but I'm not too fussed about it. The reason being, apart from the fact that Cambridge doesn't seem to have honoured and commemorated Florence for all that she did, is also because as a city we are growing, and I'm staring ahead. In fact, you'll probably see bits of it now, just there. Buses slowly but surely going past on Hills Road. Now, one of the things that various studies have said, and I've blogged about this, is Cambridge is obviously growing very, very rapidly, and we lack, amongst other things, really the civic and the leisure infrastructure to cope with that growing city. Now, if we think that Cambridge is likely to have a population of around 250,000 in the year 2050, then we need to start building these things now. Now, we know Cambridge Assessment, and obviously walking past their offices now here, are going to be moving out of here in a couple of years' time. Now, obviously this is kind of like prime land space, but I'd like to think that just as Florence Ada Keynes was able to, I'm trying to think of the word, rise above the town gown split that's so historically spoken about, I'd like to think that this current site, which is all about exams and the administration of them, because you can see the sign there, just, if I can somehow make my camera work there, I'd like to think that we could turn this site into something that would serve town and gown together. And the reason why I think this site is ever so convenient is in that direction we've got, see, Hills Road, heading towards the railway station. It's about 10-15 minute walk, but you've got buses taking you there. You're on the major guided bus routes. You've got Drummer Street bus stop over there, which is about a 10-minute walk across Parker's Piece. In fact, that's a good idea. I think we'll head that way now. We've got obviously Parker's Piece, which and just beyond it, Drummer Street bus station. You've got 3 car parks with it. Obviously you've got the one almost next door, which is the Queen Anne Terrace car park. You've got the Grafton Centre, and you've got the Lion Yard. And bearing in mind that most of the commuter traffic will have gone by the time people are perhaps driving in or catching buses or whatever in to come to the evening shows, I'd like to think that already being on major public transport routes means that it's a much better place to have something like that than just saying, oh, it looks over Parker's Piece, let's do what we did with the Cambridge fire station and build lots of luxury apartments for the buy-to-leave international speculative property market. Now, you'll hear the sirens kicking off there because after the Second World War, the old police and fire station building, which is on St Andrew's Street, or Regent. Is it Regent Street? No, it's Regent Street. Sorry, apologies for the sunlight. The old police station and the police officers moved to Parkside, which is where it is now. Now, I found in the Cambridgeshire collection yesterday, and I'm heading there now, is that in the interwar period, one of the problems that Florence Ada Keynes had to deal with when she became only our second woman mayor of Cambridge was what was then at the time the kind of like 70, 80-year-old problem of, can we have a new Guildhall, please? Now, unfortunately, we never got John Belcher's wonderful design. For me, that's work in progress as far as I'm concerned, because I think the Guildhall is due not just a refurb, but a massive improvement and an update, while still maintaining the structural integrity of the building. But one of the options that was available to the council at the time was to move from Market Square to Parkside, to where the police station and the fire station are now. And one of the reasons for that was because the size of the state and the amount of public services that were being delivered were substantially increasing, and there simply wasn't the office space really to manage all of those functions. And so that's where those proposals originally came from. But that move was, although recommended by a committee of councillors, was actually turned down by the full council, and ultimately it was under the mayoralty of Florence Ada Keynes that we got the Guildhall that we currently have. So she sorted out that problem that had been plaguing the council for ages.